overlook. I forget what this overlook is called, but it's quite beautiful. I'm going to flip the camera around and give you guys a peek, a little peeky peek. Let's see. Down there's is a town. So this is beautiful. Look at that. A lot of people just showed up. There's Yep, and Sierra. Stay in the car, you two. No barking. No barking. Okay, hold on. All right. I'm gonna do a little reading. Okay, where's my flipper thing? There it is. Hello. Okay, let's see. How can I set this up in a way? Let's see. Maybe like this. Will that work? It's pretty good, huh? Okay. Okay. Where do we leave off at? Where did we leave off at? La-dee-da-dee-da-da. Creating your own chart of origin. Your archetypal wheel shows you your soul's relationship to power. In this chapter, you will learn how to place each of your 12 archetypes into its house of service within the wheel. Each archetype touches the other through the center fulcrum of the wheel. So even though each house is ruled by a particular archetype, it is nevertheless also influenced by all of the other archetypical energies in your chart. If your child archetype, for instance, falls into the 9th house, spirituality, it signifies that understanding the nature of your child will help you explore your spirituality. A woman named Meg had a 9th house child archetype and realized that she held a very strong parent-child image of her relationship to God. She expected God to reward her when she was good, punish her when she misbehaved, take care of her needs, and receive little in return, just as her parents had. As a result of her expectations, Meg realized she practiced a very immature spirituality. Hey, stop. Stop. Get back in that car. Sorry. Hey, stop. Stop. I'm going to roll up the window. Last bark. Last bark. Fat boy. Last bark. Sorry about that. Let's see. This insight led Meg to understand why she felt abandoned or thought she had done something wrong whenever she did not get what she wanted. At the same time, the child represented an image of trust and safety in God. I pray to an image of God the Father, Meg said. I do not relate to the concept of the divine, which for me is impersonal, cold, and distant. I need a father figure. I feel safe and loved within this image in a way that the concept of the divine doesn't provide. This is the positive side of my childlike spirituality. Don't do that. Do I need to roll up your window so you stop acting like a little tyrant? This is the positive side of my childlike spirituality. My child also reminds me that, like a child, I often do not hold myself accountable spiritually. And addressing this absence of spiritual maturity has now become a focus of my inner life. Meg used this archetypal image to help her reshape her spiritual life. Each of her challenges required that she learn to accept divine guidance rather than demand that all of her needs be met like a spoiled child. As an intuitive instrument, the archetypal wheel takes you beyond rational and logical perceptions. It also serves as a creative vessel in which you have access to images and inspiration and can mix them to get extraordinary insights. Out of this spiritual crucible can emerge a refined, more durable vision of your life's purpose. In working with the wheel, I often picture King Arthur with his 12 knights at the round table. Each archetype rules a portion of the kingdom under the guidance of the king, your intuition. Arthur, Arthur converses with each one, learning the intimate details of each knight's estate. What is beautiful about that part of the country and any potential troubles or challenges. Excuse you. Excuse you. Do I need to roll up your window, fat boy? Okay, then I will. If that's what you need for me to do, then that's what I will do. Sure. Natural consequence. Let's see. Where was I? Each archetype rules a portion of the kingdom under the guidance of the king. Just be quiet. You hear me? Let's see here. Your intuition. Arthur converses with each one, learning the intimate details of each knight's estate. What is beautiful about that part of the country and any potential troubles or challenges. To maintain his kingdom, to create a Camelot, he must consolidate the power of all 12 knights, forming one united, harmonious circle. Loss, separation, and revolt in any one estate would threaten the health of the whole realm. As you As you read your own wheel, you may see how each of your knights interconnects with others. Memories of one part of the life of your life link to a conversation you are having today that is somehow connected to a book you read 2 years ago. Memories of one part of conversation you are having today that is somehow connected to a book you read 2 years ago and to a creative venture inspired by a business associate who made an offhanded comment this morning. In my workshops, people share stories of their lives in which they recall how one experience led to another, forming a finely linked chain that connects them to the whole of their lives. One remarkable man named Jim told a story that epitomizes that process. I had an accident when I was 11 that left me partially paralyzed, he said. After my accident, I was afraid of everything, and I believed that I would never have a normal life. Then one day I decided that, rather than focus on my fears, the time had come for me to learn to accept that all things happen for a reason. Everyone needs to learn that the truth in some measure. But for me, it amounted to releasing my attempt to control my life. Especially after my accident, I believed that as long as I demanded order, I could minimize any more unexplainable, undeserved traumas. Now I look at everyone as energetically connected to everyone else. And of course, to me. I look for the one thing that each person brings into my life that contributes to my empowerment, regardless of whether the relationship is positive or difficult. My attention focuses on holding the thought that the invisible purpose leads to divine empowerment. I love that. Even though you may not always see how people and events in your life are linked to each other and to you, your wheel provides a map on which you can plot the points of interaction between them. This helps you to connect the dots and form a clearer picture of what is happening. Casting your wheel. The wheel you are about to cast will serve as the basic chart of your life, and so it is meant to be cast only once. In Chapter 10, you will learn to use the same technique to seek guidance on specific questions and issues that are confronting you. But this first archetypal wheel is akin to your natal chart in astrology. Just as you cannot have more than one moment of birth, so you cannot make more than one first archetypal wheel. This is your beginning point, which I sometimes call your contract wheel or chart of origin. And as you continue to return to your wheel for interpretations of additional areas of your life, you must use the same wheel. You are not to reshuffle and cast a new wheel each time you work, with the intention of understanding the whole of your contract. This is the only wheel that presents you with an overview of all the connecting cycles and archetypal patterns of your sacred contract. The actual task of casting your archetypal wheel is rather simple. Clear your mind of expectations and desires and focus on your intention to be open to whatever guidance you receive. Take several deep breaths to clear your mind. Your archetypes will be guided into their appropriate houses by the energy of simultaneity, coincidence, spiritual order, divine paradox, and destiny. As explained in Chapter 7, this psychic electricity creates a kind of magnetic organizational process, as it does for runes, tarot, the I Ching, and astrology, and other tools that communicate with your intuition and unconscious. Like them, your wheel is a means to an end, an organizational system that supplies a form through which the patterns of your psyche and soul can reveal themselves to you. When you release your intention for casting your chart of origin, it is natural to wonder, exactly who am I addressing? There will come a moment when you will wonder if God, or just your subconscious, is the one on the receiving end of your intentions and your questions. It's risky for me to say absolutely that you are addressing God, the divine, or whatever name you use for the guiding force of the universe, as if you were saying a prayer and waiting for the answer. Some people might prefer to say that all answers come from within anyway. If you feel more comfortable visualizing the process that way, then go with it. I happen to believe that the divine dwells within us, as well as around us, whether we call it God, Atman, Buddha, Buddha nature, our higher self, or just the still small voice. We are heard when we ask for guidance, and that is all that matters. I'm going to roll down my window. It's stuffy as flippin' here. There, get some cross breeze. Oh, yes. So when you come to the point of questioning who or what is at the other end of your request for guidance, and you definitely will, search for the highest perspective you can reach. Look at how your life would feel if you were liberated from fear and private agendas. Investigate your life as if you believed that failure is impossible. Act as if your intentions were prayers and that they were being released into the ears of the divine. After all, what harm can that do? Or to put this in another way, are you ever separated from your own sacred self? Hardly. In clearing your mind prior to casting your wheel, use this meditation as a centering device. Close your eyes and breathe deeply into your abdomen, your solar plexus, allowing your stomach to expand as you breathe in and contract as you exhale. See yourself as a hollow reed or membrane, expanding and contracting. Continue in slow, deep breaths, repeating, I have no desire. I have no thoughts. I am empty of all disturbances. I am empty of all my needs. I am open to receive. Be receptive. When you are seeking interior guidance, you are requesting insights that could possibly change the present course of your life. Even though your conscious mind is making the request, your unconscious may block the answers if they are not what you want to hear. Long ago, I learned that people come to my workshop on developing intuition more to learn how to block their guidance than to get in touch with it. Their intuitive receptivity is so strong that they suffer miserably from the stress of intuitive repression. More often than not, these people are hoping that they will tap into an ability to see what the future will bring so they can avoid risk, uncertainty, and unpleasantness. They want intuition to tell them what will happen tomorrow so they can take the risk factor out of their decisions. That will never happen. And that is not the nature of intuition. Receiving intuitive information or guidance is effortless. What is difficult is removing your fears about what your intuition is telling you. Should you discover that you are unable to be truly open to any and all guidance that you can come through this tool, that realization in itself speaks deeply about the intensity of your fears, all of which you can identify through working with your archetypal patterns. Holding an open mind will allow your archetypal patterns to assume their most natural positions in your chart. You are embarking on an experience to learn more about your life. Treat yourself and the voice of your psyche with respect, because it is the living force that yearns for channels through which you can communicate. So, tomorrow I'll read about the directions. So, I'm going to read what archetype we left off on, which was the Knight, warrior, rescuer, hero. The Knight archetype is primarily associated with chivalry, courtly romance, protection of the princess, and going to battle only for honorable causes. The Knight serves his king or lord, and so this archetype has spiritual overtones as well of service and devotion. Loyalty and self-sacrifice are the Knight's greatest virtues, along with the natural ability to get things done. The Black Knight donning dark armor and riding a black horse represents the shadow characteristics of this archetype, especially the absence of honor and chivalry. Somewhat like the warrior, the shadow knight manifests as loyalty to a questionable ruler or principle. In its negative aspect, the knight can also, like the rescuer, fall into a pattern of saving others but ignoring his own needs. A true knight, like the mystic, walks the fine line between self-sacrifice and self-neglect. Films: Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan and Apollo 13, Christopher Reeve in Superman, Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves, Tin Cup, and JFK. Drama: Man of La Mancha by Dale Wasserman. Television: Have Gun, Will Travel. Fairy tale: Prince Valiant. Religion and myth: Knights of the Round Table. In medieval English lore, a semi-mythic group of 150 knights, including Lancelot, Gawain, Kay, Mordred, Galahad, and others who served under King Arthur. Sir Percival, Parsifal, Knight of the Round Table who got to see the Holy Grail. Fabian, a good knight turned into a forest spirit by his ex-lover, a sorceress, and now dwells in the hills near Prague. Damas, shadow knight who trapped other knights so that his brother could fight them. So that's it for now. I think it's Tuesday, the 22nd. It's Earth Day. It's beautiful out. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. I went and saw the meteor shower last night. That's why I'm here in Shenandoah. And I didn't see one shooting star, not one single one. But the moon came poking its beautiful red colored light from behind the cloud. And it looked like it was on fire. It was absolutely beautiful. And then I woke up early this morning and what's going on? Am I on the phone with someone? Active call. Weird. Active call. My number. That's strange. What's happening here? Huh. Anyway, I don't know, that's strange. I wonder if that's because I'm on Bluetooth. I wonder if you guys can even hear me. I don't know. I'll have to record it again if you can. But yeah, I woke up. I'd gotten a cheap motel right outside Shenandoah in a cute little town called Waynesboro, and I woke up early again. I left the motel at 3 because the ideal time to watch the meteor shower was between 3 and 4, and so I was up on the top of the mountain. I didn't see any shooting stars, but then I got up again and went and saw the sunrise at 6:30, which was quite extraordinary. Anyway, I've fallen in love with Shenandoah. It's very, very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And I'm looking forward to coming back and visiting it. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope you were able to hear me.